All right. So in the two-step equation so far, everything that we've done, we started off with add the opposite or subtract the number. Okay, we either added the opposite or subtracted the number. And then in last week's stuff, we divided, right? Today, we are going to be doing a lot of multiplying or multiplying by the reciprocal. Okay? So today, we're going to do a lot of multiplying by the reciprocal. So our first step, if you remember from before, add the opposite or to subtract. Here is my variable term, this whole part, the fraction, plus 8 equals 7. I want to undo the add 8. So what do I have to do to both sides? Subtract 8. So I'm going to subtract 8, subtract 8, and we have x, and then divided by -3 is equal to -1. Remember, you have to write everything down showing all your steps. Okay? Write everything down showing all your steps. And our second step here now is, how do I undo dividing by a -3? Multiply by a -3. Here it cancels. Okay? So I'll just have x on this side, because that cancels, equals, and here it is 3. Remind me when we get done with the notes to correct your assignment from Wednesday. But I'm doing the video, so I'll just finish the video. Number 2, we have x divided by 3, and then subtract 12 is equal to a -8. So what do I have to do first? Add 12. I'm going to add 12, add 12. We have x over 3 is equal to 4. Very similar to over here, I was dividing by a -3, so I multiplied by a -3. Here I'm dividing by a +3, so I'm going to multiply by 3. Again, cancels, so I have x equals 12. Remember in your notes right now, you have to have all of this copied down. You have to have all of this copied down. Don't just copy down some shortcut method that you want to do. Okay? In your notes, you have to have it all. All right, so number 3, we have 2/3 x minus 6 is equal to 12. So what am I going to do to both sides? Add 6. I have to undo subtract 6. So I'm going to add 6. That leaves me with 2/3 x equals 18. Now it's 2/3 x. So what am I going to do? Multiply by 3/2, multiply by the reciprocal. Remember at the very top it had multiply by the reciprocal? So we're going to multiply by 3/2. Because when I do that here, it cancels. Okay? So I'm going to over here multiply by 3/2 as well. When I do that, I'm going to get x equals 18 times 3 is 54, divided by 2 is 27. So my answer is 27. Top times top is 54, bottom times bottom is 2, and 54 divided by 2 is 27. Number 4. I have 3/4 x plus 12 equals 24. First step, subtract the 12 from both sides. have 3/4 x equals 12. Now, hopefully on this one, more people can answer what we're going to do. So what are we going to do now? Multiply by 4/3. I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal. So I'm going to multiply by 4/3. 4/3. Over here, cancels. So I have x equals 12 times 4 is 48. 1 times 3 is 3. And 48 divided by 3, check your calculator, is 16. Questions? Step by step, show your work. All right, number 5. That's 2x over 3 minus 12. I know it might be hard to see the minus 12 there. Is equal to 24. So what am I going to do? Both sides? Add 12. Add 12. Add 12. And I get 2x over 3 is equal to 36. Hopefully, even though it's written a little different than up here where I had 2/3, this is also 2/3 still. It just has the x up here, but it's still 2/3 times x, 2x divided by 3. But what am I going to do? Hopefully you recognize 2/3 here. Yes, multiply by 3/2. When I multiply by 3/2, it cancels. So I get x equals top times top, 108. Bottom times bottom, 2. And that is 54. So x equals 54. Number 6. First step. Subtract the 12. So that's 3x over 4 is equal to 36. Second step. Multiply by 4/3. Again, on the left side over here, that cancels out. So I have x equals 4 times 36 is 144 over 3. And 3 goes into there, if I did my math right, 48. Someone who has a calculator, double check that. 144 divided by 3, I believe, is 48. Double check it. All right, number 7. We're going to add 8. Okay, to undo the subtract 8, we add 8. 1/4 x is equal to 24. And then what am I going to do second step? I can multiply by 4 over 1 or just multiply by 4, right? Because 4 over 1 is the same. 4 over 1, that's equal to 4, right? So I could just multiply by 4. Multiply by 4. 4 times 1/4 is 1. So I get x equals 96. 24 times 4 on your calculator is 96. Number 8. First step, undo add 12. We're going to subtract 12. Or again, you could add a negative 12. Same thing. And we get 1/4 x is equal to a negative 2. Second step. negative 2. Because when I subtract 12, that's negative 2. And we get x equals negative 8. Questions? All right, now your second page or your next page is a little different than what you have in your packet. If you noticed the other day, the first 12 are the same. Just 3 more questions to get a little bit more practice in there. Just accumulate. Easton, have some practice first. All right, and then we got to correct yesterday's, or not yesterday's, but last week. So get out last week's work, the worksheet.